Streets 105.1 Dsmoovee, aka Smooth Diddy, aka Ain't Nobody Smoother, aka the smoothest, BKA. I got so many AKs I forgot my own name. Look, thank you so much for tapping in. If you're looking at me right now, you seeing me live on the YouTube. Make sure you are tapping in, subscribing to the YouTube page On the Streets Radio for all the dopest interviews and to see all my dope people that I got in the building. Look, the intro don't say it no more, but I still got the dopest people in the city with me, all right? Y'all know me for it. I'm good for it, all right? So make sure I stay up with me. Today, I have Miss Michelle Echols. She's been here before. Phenomenal. But I had to bring her back today because she is on her entrepreneurial tip. And I had to bring her in. Of course, black women are always doing something amazing. And, of course, it's Black History Month. But this woman is always on the ball doing something. So I had to bring up her. Miss Michelle, go ahead. Let the world know who you are. Let them know what you do.
All right. Hey, everybody. Like he said, I'm Michelle Echols, also known as Sunshine.
That's right.
But, you know, I'm here because I am a wellness broker. I am focused on all things wellness. It started with my financial company where we do taxes and credit repair. And then recently I started a therapy practice. So I am focused on mental health, and those two kind of correlate so much. So, you know, I just want to focus on making sure our community knows that those two things matter and they're connected, and we want to work on getting one better so the other can be better and we can be well all around.
Absolutely. I love the fact that you are really, really like tapped into wellness. Mm-hmm. I think that's amazing. And one thing that always sparked me with what you do is you do it with a smile, and you always are humble with it. Mm-hmm. And people love you. Like, they really love to see you come into their life. So, Miss Michelle, one thing I want to start, or where I want to start is how did you kind of get into entrepreneurship? What made you like say, I want to be by myself and I want to see what that journey is like?
It kind of started with my dad. Like, he always instilled in us when we were kids, like being able to make your own money, not dependent on a job to pay you, being able to do something in case something happens. And I was just like, you know what? I got to be able to follow that path. So
absolutely,
it stuck with me.
I love it. And now that you followed that path, what are some of the most rewarding things about entrepreneurship?
My time. I am a mother of two beautiful girls, and I'm able to take them to school, pick them up from school, do all these dance activities.
That's what's up. That's got to feel good.
And I feel like the most rewarding thing was time. Like, that's the most valuable thing I have.
Absolutely.
Is my time. And being able to allocate what I do, when I do, and how I do it has been, like, amazing.
Absolutely. I love it. The fact that you are really on this journey, and the fact that you have kind of mastered. Now, I'm going to say master because you look a lot happier. Honestly, you do. What made you want to get into taxes? Taxes is not something that a lot of people want to get into. Like, that's crazy.
It's not. So when the pandemic hit, right, I was like, am I going to have my job still? So I started looking at what's some recession-proof income. And it started with credit repair. I was like, you know what? When this recession is over, everybody's credit going to be jacked up. They're going to need to get it fixed. So let me get into this now. So I did that. And then I added on the tax business because it was just like everybody works. So we got to file taxes. So I know no matter what, I can do this from my house, wherever I'm at, out of town on vacation. I can do this and make some money. So
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Getting into credit, that is a game that a lot of our people have not gotten into yet. Explain to us, like, what made you actually want to get, like, what was that thing that said, okay, credit is really important. How did you figure out, like, that you were going to educate people with it?
So like you said, I've been here before. So I used to work for Fathers and Family Support Center.
Shout out to them.
And there were so many clients that I assisted along the way. Part of my job when I was there, I was a career advisor. So helping people find jobs, helping them with their finances, just different stuff. And it was just like, these were common issues that people who came in had. And it was just like, that's a common barrier in our community. So if I could figure out a way to educate people and still make money while I'm doing it, why not?
Absolutely. I know you got, and I want to ask you this, what are some of the reactions that you get when you are able to help people see themselves in a better financial state?
Oh man, like, people be sending me messages. They be like, okay, it's time to go on a home buying journey. I was able to apply for this credit card that I wasn't able to do before. I went and got a car. My car not $600 anymore. It's just like,
oh, that's beautiful.
Victories. Like, people are really, they don't understand that they are in some of the predicaments that they're in with the prices that they pay because of their credit. So when they start to fix it and go along that journey and those prices start dropping, they can afford to do different things in life that they weren't able to do before. So that's beautiful too.
I love it. And the fact that you like I said, you do it with a smile, but people are really, you're helping out people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
What's that feeling like? Actually, getting those confirmation signs and getting those confirmation words of affirmation. Does that mean more to you, or does the work that you do mean more?
I feel like it's a little. They kind of go hand
Good
in
hand.
hand.
Okay.
It's always a reward for somebody to appreciate you verbally, physically, some kind of way of saying this person was able to help me do this. But seeing the work being done, seeing the actions being taken, having people listen to things that you tell them, and they come back to you know what, you told me to do this, and I did it, and it worked. Man, that's just like ooh on the inside.
I love it. So I asked you about the easiest thing or some of the rewards of entrepreneurship. What are some of the harder things that you actually had to deal with?
With entrepreneurship, you don't. There's no set income.
Yeah,
So if you don't work, you don't get paid.
absolutely.
There's no set work shift, like especially when you're starting out. I've gotten to the point where I've been able to manage now. But starting out, it's a lot of long hours. It's a lot of late nights. It's a lot of early mornings. It's a lot of no's. And I always say those are not right nows. It's a bunch of closed doors. It's a bunch of disappointment. It's a bunch of people you thought was going to support you who not there. But then you have to realize it's somebody out here who needs me, so just keep going.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, because I was just going to ask you a word of encouragement to those who are scared of the path of entrepreneurship but want to take it.
Do your research and keep going. Like, don't quit. Just because the people around, and I posted about this. So I post daily prayers on my Facebook
As
page.
she does. As she
One
does.
of the ones I posted about the other day was, just because the people around you have quit following their dreams don't mean you need to quit following yours. So keep going.
One thing that I love about actually being your friend on Facebook is those prayers, like honestly. So I appreciate you always having an optimistic attitude when it comes to that. Being in St. Louis, we often feel like that people only support popular brands or popular things. How do you not focus on that stigma? And because you do get support, but how do you not focus on that stigma of St. Louis being an unsupportive place?
So I've never been a type of person who really cared about popularity. Like, I've always did my own thing in my own lane, in my own world, and it just worked. So as long as I'm happy, that's all that really matters. As long as I'm successful in what I'm doing, that's all that really matters. So the support will come if you are consistent with what you're doing something that's beneficial, and you stick with it.
Absolutely. I love the fact that when you say sticking with it and really say, this is something that helps people and this is something that helps me. I really enjoy the fact that you honestly care about the people that you serve. Being in a world in a place that we know, like you honestly have to care about the people. How did you kind of, and this is kind of a personal question, how did you develop that care and that vibrant feeling for people to actually help them?
I think I was born with it. Like, I've always told myself and people, like, I'm a servant leader. Like, I will lead, but my goal is always to serve. So it's just kind of one of those things that come from within. Like, I don't think you really learn it. You just have it and you go with it.
Absolutely. So not only do you do those things, you also are a serial entrepreneur. Talk to us about everything else that you do too.
So like I said, I introduced myself as a wellness broker, and that's because I'm also a therapist, and my main focus is wellness. So through therapy, we're able to address mental health. We're able to address trauma issues. Living in St. Louis, we deal with a lot of things.
A lot of trauma.
That a lot of people don't even realize are traumatic experiences. We grow up dealing with stuff in our household that we think is normal, that is not normal. So we carry that into our adulthood, and we teach that to our children. So being able to break down those walls of traumatic experiences with people has been helpful. Just being able to see people grow in their journey to wellness. We talked about the financial strains that people have. That tears down your mental health, and people don't realize when I'm stressed about paying a bill, now I had these headaches all the time. Now I'm not sleeping. Now I'm not performing like I should. Yeah. It's a cycle. So being able to address one thing and then jumping into another part that's connected to it just kind of helps build the person all around.
Absolutely. Now that you are really focused on entrepreneurship, what is next for you?
Um, so through my practice, I have been actually this past week. I've been making a bunch of collaborations and connections with some people. So next is a couple of workshops. I have a couple of
Okay.
workshops that
Yeah.
I'm working on. Nothing is set in stone yet, so I don't have any dates or anything like that yet. But I'm putting together a plan to provide these services and give information to our people.
Absolutely. Going back to wellness. Wellness is a collaboration of things, and that could be mental, physical, spiritual, all those things. Being a therapist, what do you recommend for us or for people who are trying to get to that place of mental wellness or physical or spiritual wellness?
I would say slow down. A lot of us, we so worried about getting to whatever this destination is of success, of entrepreneurship, of a promotion, whatever it is that we're working to get to. Slow down because it's gonna be there, and you just have to make sure your journey is correct.
Mm.
I use this analogy that I tell people: when you want to get somewhere that you've never been, what do you do when you get in your car? You put it in your GPS, right?
Yep.
So I have this thing of GPS. So for the G, we're gonna get help. So
All right.
got issues that's going on, get some professional help. Whether it be financially, whether it be emotionally, physically, intellectually, whatever it is you need help with, go get that professional help. It's a lot of agencies in this community that are providing these services for free. And if those agencies don't give you exactly what you need, then you can get a connection to someone that is a paid service. And then you want a plan. Make a plan. Put it down on paper. With that person that you went and got help from, have them help you plan it out. Write it down because you need to know what your next steps are on that journey of whatever that goal is you're trying to get to, that success or whatever it is. And the S of that is stick to the plan. It's going to be a lot of saying no along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you just have to realize keeping that end goal in mind is what's going to help you get there. So sticking to the plan.
Absolutely. So going back to the workshops, so you like you said, I know you said nothing is set in stone, but the idea of these workshops is to help with financials, correct?
So with these workshops, I want to focus on just like wellness as a whole. So there's 8 dimensions of wellness: physical, spiritual,
Come on with it.
mental,
I was close. I had 3 of them.
intellectual, financial, and mental. And I think I skipped one somewhere. But basically, environmental. So where you live and stuff.
Okay.
So basically, I want to be able to provide services in all 8 dimensions because they go hand in hand. And if we're well in one area and lacking in another area, we still not where we need to be.
Yeah.
So in these workshops, there will be different things. So whether it's when we say health, we thinking about how we eating, what we doing.
Yeah.
A lot of us cooking on a budget, but are you doing that properly? Are you buying the foods that you shouldn't be buying?
I'm buying ramen noodles.
Do you know what to cook when you buy these foods? How can you stretch that dollar a little bit more? So connecting to financial. Do you have a budget? Or are you planning out these dollars that you get, or are you just spending and wondering where it went? So, do you have a schedule? Like your schedule determines how you spend your day-to-day activities. And are you spending time on what you said you want to do? Or are you lollygagging, scrolling social media, doing this at other people's event instead of working on yours? Like, what are you doing to get to those? So all of these workshops that I'm going to set up are going to be encompassing all 8 dimensions of wellness.
And did not know it was 8 dimensions because honestly, like I named 3. I'm like, yeah, that's. I feel like I got those 3, but the rest of them 5, I don't know. And I think that's really interesting that people like. We don't know all those things. We don't know about our own wellness, and we're still trying to understand that. And you being a wellness coach, that's definitely needed, and that practice is thank God is here. Honestly, when you see people that aren't well, and when you are able to see them kind of transition their way back, what are some of the signs that you see on a good note that actually help them get to the point that they need to be?
So most of my interactions that are not like directly through one of my businesses are on social media.
Okay.
So I see a change in what they're posting. I see a change in how they're posting. I see a change in like their overall demeanor of what it was. So you can have somebody who was like, oh, I can't stand this, or I look at this. And then you have them like, you know what, I appreciate this and I was able to do this. Start celebrating the wins no matter how small they are.
Yeah.
So seeing that, it's like, okay, I'm making a difference.
You definitely are. Like No, honestly, like, I really got to celebrate y'all small wins because that's key.
Everything counts.
That is key. That is key. So Miss Michelle, thank you so much for coming up. I need you to tell people how they can follow you.
Okay.
How they can. I know we went through it all. I know. Tell people how they
On
can follow you.
Facebook, I am Sunshine Echols. I do not use my Instagram, so I'm not even gonna tell y'all where.
You
to
don't
find
use
me on.
Instagram?
I don't. So I used to, and then it just kind of went by the wayside. Like my money come from Facebook.
Okay.
So that's
You got
just where I
you got
focus.
LinkedIn.
I do have LinkedIn.
There you go.
Michelle Echols on LinkedIn. That's where I'm focused on my practice there. So I do have it set up. But that's pretty much it right there.
Absolutely. And are these your shirts?
Yeah. So this is my shirt. How happy is your credit?
Okay.
So yeah, I'm always representing one way or another.
Are those able to be purchased or?
They are not for sale. They just, somebody
They
words
just to let them know.
'Cause
Absolutely.
It's thought invoking. People look at it like, how happy is your credit? What's that about? It's conversation.
And of course, they know you as being happy.
Uh-huh.
So I love it. Thank you so much for coming up. We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
you. Look forward to working with you in the future and looking forward to seeing what you do with wellness. I might have to take one of your workshops,
Okay.
definitely. So
I'm going to
let
definitely
me know.
invite you out.
All right. Streets 105.1. Make sure you tap in right now with Miss Michelle Echols. She just gave you all the information. And if you definitely want to tap into the workshops, you make sure you continue to follow her because they ain't out yet. Y'all got the exclusive. All right. I'll be hooking y'all up. So I need y'all to make sure y'all hook her up. All right.
Okay.
It's Streets 105.1, Dsmoovee, voice of the streets. Make sure you stay locked in and stay tapped in with me on this good Saturday. Peace.